Welcome to CrashMap Video Tutorial 8, Inspection-Based Blackspot Applications. This tutorial provides advice to assist you to select the locations that have the greatest potential to be funded by federal and state programs. You will also be provided with an example to step you through the process of creating an inspection-based blackspot application. First, it is important to understand how the crash risk score algorithms work in CrashMap for blackspot nominations that are based on a road safety inspection report when considering which location to investigate for potential treatment. When considering locations for treatment, you should consider the following. First, you should be looking at the locations that have just missed the BCR warrants for the federal and state crash-based programs. This is because the risk scores give a higher priority to locations that have a BCR that just falls below the crash-based warrants. You should also prioritize treatment locations that focus on the high severity crash types, namely treatments that address right-angle crash risk involving vulnerable road users, pedestrians, cyclists, motorcyclists, head-on crash risks, and off-path impact object crash risks. The risk scores provide higher risk scores to higher speed environments and also consider the speed environment in relation to the high severity risk crash types. The risk scores also give priority to locations with higher road user exposure, such as higher vehicle volumes and other road user volumes. You should also ensure that the findings identified in your road safety inspection report clearly identify the crash risk in each finding. This is because the crash risks stated in the road safety inspection findings are used to validate the crash risks that are addressed by the treatment selected. If you focus on these factors, your inspection-based blackspot will achieve a higher score and you will be more likely to gain funding. The inspection-based application blackspot tool is located on the Crashes Query slide-out side panel on the left side of the screen and is accessed by selecting the Blackspot tab option. The inspection-based application tool is located towards the bottom of the Blackspot tab. Now, let's work through an example of inspection-based blackspot application. Users select a location by using the Add Road Search option to select a road name or number and an SLK start and end, and run a query to start the blackspot application process. First, we are going to use the Add Road Search for the road section of Mundaring Weir Road. From 4.50 to 7.50 SLK, and then run the query and then view and select the results. The crash window is then displayed, where you can analyze the crash results using collision diagrams, crash details, and crash reports to assist you to create a crash summary and determine the prominent crash types at the location being considered for treatment. To start the blackspot application process, you need to select the Create Submission button located at the bottom right of the Crash Results window. The Crash Analysis tab then appears, where you can select your region, create a crash summary, and determine the prominent crashes and nature of concern. To assist you to complete your summary, there is an example that can be accessed by clicking on the blue question mark on the right side just above the crash summary box. Once you have completed your crash summary and identified the prominent crashes and the nature of concern, click the Next Tab Right button at the bottom of the Crash Analysis tab to move on to the Treatment Selection tab. Your predominant crashes information is displayed at the top of the Treatment Selection tab, and the applicable crash reduction factors spreadsheet are accessible on this tab to assist you to select the most effective treatment to address your predominant crashes. For this example, the following treatments have been selected to address the predominant crashes at this location by clicking the Add Countermeasures button. Treatment 264, no shoulder to 1.0 meters sealed shoulder with ATLM, edge line. The collision diagrams displayed on the map should then be grouped for each treatment, and the collision diagram of any crashes that are not treated by the selected countermeasure should be deselected as demonstrated in Tutorial 5. Once the collision diagrams have been grouped, the print option is used to create a collision diagram plan which is saved and uploaded for each treatment. A specific title and file naming convention must be used when completing this stage using the treatment number followed by a dash and then the treatment location. For this example, the title is Treatment 264 followed with a dash and then Mundaring Weir Road. This process should be repeated for all the treatments selected. Treatment 223, Advisory Speed Signs on Curves. Treatment 251, Flexible or semi-rigid barrier on roadside. You need to group your crashes for each treatment and deselect any crashes that are not treated by the selected countermeasure. Then, use the print option to save and upload your collision diagram plan for each countermeasure. You must use the following title and file name convention when completing this stage. Both the drawing title name and the file name should be titled using the treatment number - treatment location. So for this first example, the print title and file name should be Treatment 264 - Mundaring Weir Road, Treatment 223 - Mundaring Weir Road, and Treatment 251 - Mundaring Weir Road. Once you have completed selecting your treatments, click the Next tab button to move on to the Funding Selection tab, where you select which program or programs you wish to apply for. In this example, I am applying for both the state and federal programs. Then, selecting the Next tab button takes you onto the Economic Appraisal tab. The following details then need to be updated on this tab before the BCR and NPV are automatically calculated. Update the area type and select the Crash Cost Saving category. The layers are also available in the map area so that you can display the legal speed limit layer to confirm the Crash Cost Saving category. Then, enter your capital project costs and yearly operating costs for each treatment. The cost of road safety inspection then needs to be provided as it is included in economic appraisal for the state program and excluded for the federal program. In this example, we can see that the BCR is 0.81, which is getting close to 1.0. But you may decide to consider another location with a BCR closer to 1.0. Once you have completed your economic appraisal, click the Next tab button to move on to the Crash Reports tab. All you need to do on this tab is click on the 3 report buttons to automatically generate crash reports that are included with your Blackspot submission. To assist you to determine the road hierarchy and area type selections for the crash patterns report generation, you can display the legal speed limit and road hierarchy layers on the map. You then click the Next tab button to move on to the Crash Risk tab, where you enter and upload the following information. To generate your risk scores, input the traffic volume at the location and upload evidence of your traffic survey. Select the pedestrian volume banding for your location. Then select the speed environment for the location from the drop-down list. You can use the legal speed limit layer to determine this if you are unsure. You then upload a PDF copy of the Road Safety Inspection Report that is to be used to support your application. You need to ensure that the senior auditor that led the inspection has registered the report on the Road Safety Audit Portal for validation purposes. To complete the risk confirmation section of the Crash Risk tab, you will see that some crash natures are pre-populated. These are pre-populated based on the crash nature risks that your selected treatments address. You then need to review the findings in your Road Safety Inspection Report and confirm the crash nature risks that are identified in each of the findings in the Road Safety Inspection Report. Because this application is for a road section, you need to use the link provided to access the Austroads Infrastructure Risk Rating tool and determine and input your risk score before uploading a screen capture of the risk score as evidence of your assessment. You don't need to complete this step for individual intersection applications that are based on a Road Safety Inspection Report. The Funding Confirmation tab displays a summary of your BCR scores, risk scores, and total scores for the state and federal programs. You then progress onto the Site Inspection tab, where you need to enter your site inspection details and upload at least 2 site photographs before you can progress onto the Nomination Details tab. You then progress onto the Nomination Details tab, where you input the required information and upload a concept drawing for your treatment proposal. On completion of your nomination details, you need to complete the Nomination Estimates tab. There are automated arithmetic checks on this tab, so you need to make sure everything adds up and provide an explanation for your estimated operating cost. Remember, you need to subtract the cost of your road safety inspection for the Australian Government program, as it is not an eligible cost for this program, and remember to include an estimated cost for your design stage road safety audit. This form can also be used for stage project estimates by clicking the Add Stage option. A detailed example of the validation rules for this tab is provided in the user guide. The final tab is the Other Information tab, where you can add details about any clearances or permits. Once you have completed this form, you can create a PDF of the whole submission by selecting the Print Applications option. Depending on your level of user access, you will be able to either submit your application or forward it on to another user to submit. Once your application has been submitted, it is added to your application list, and if your submission is approved for funding, it is then added to your project list. This concludes the inspection-based Blackspot applications tutorial. Please refer to the Crash Map user guide if you require any further information about these features.